Dear friends, good morning. Today we are going to start with a topic of UV visible spectroscopy. This UV represent ultraviolet. So ultraviolet and visible spectroscopy is we are going to study today. In this topic, the syllabus is like this: introduction, Beer-Lambert's law, absorption of UV radiation by organic molecules leading to different excitations, terms used in UV spectroscopy, then modes of electromagnetic transitions, effect of conjugation on position of UV band, calculation of lambda max by Woodward and Fisher rules, color and visible spectrum, and applications of UV spectroscopy. So out of this introduction and Beer-Lambert's law we are going to see in today's lecture. So let us revise in brief. Electromagnetic radiation is a type of energy that is transmitted through space at enormous velocities. Radiant energy have wave nature and being associated with electric as well as magnetic fields. These radiations are called as electromagnetic radiations. The electromagnetic radiation has its origin in atomic and molecular processes. So this is graphic presentation of electromagnetic radiation. The field may be represented as electric and magnetic field vectors oscillating in mutually perpendicular directions. So the electric component and magnetic component both are oscillating perpendicular to each other and also perpendicular to line of propagation. The energy of an electromagnetic radiation can be given by the following equation: energy equal to h nu, where E is energy of radiation, h is Planck's constant, and nu is the frequency of radiation. So this is the general formula which is used in all spectroscopical analysis. The frequency nu can be given as c upon lambda, where c is velocity of light in vacuum, lambda is wavelength. So E is equal to h nu. Now it becomes E is equal to h c upon lambda by replacing the value of nu. So this is the portion of electromagnetic radiation which indicates visible range. The normal visible range is from 400 nanometers to 800 nanometers, and we study ultraviolet and visible region collectively in this particular topic. So this spectrum shows that there are radiations in UV, then the visible region is shown, and to right side there is infrared region. The visible range of radiation has different colors, and these colors are violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. So VIBGYOR. So we call Indradhanusha in Marathi, and these are the major colors having respective wavelength ranges, and the wavelengths in UV visible region is are expressed in nanometers. Friends, UV spectroscopy and in general all spectroscopies have various applications. UV spectroscopy, of course, UV visible spectroscopy, its investigation techniques, its applications in structural determination and explanation of various properties of compounds, help in applying these theories in practice. So let us consider an interesting example. It is related to skin color. Melanin is a natural skin pigment. The name is melanin. Hair, skin and eye color in people and animal is mostly depending upon the amount of melanin they have. Special skin cells called melanocytes make melanin. So the thing is that melanin is the pigment. Melanin is synthesized by melanocytes, and some people make more melanin than others. So this makes the difference in the appearance also. Melanin is a complex polymer. Two of the most complex monomers The structures are given in this slide. So these isomers, one is hydroxy derivative, other as a combination of carbonyl groups. So these isomers are prominently important in melanin structure. These are the various colors we observe: color of skin, hair and eyes. Protecting yourself from sunburn. It is an interesting property. The naturally produced pigment melanin protects the skin by absorbing much of the ultraviolet radiations. Basically, the electromagnetic radiation has one portion which we say as ultraviolet range. These ultraviolet radiations are absorbed by melanin pigment in the skin. Human skin can be damaged by overexposure to ultraviolet light from the sun. So this overexposure to the sun is dangerous because there is a limit to how much radiation our melanin can absorb. So melanin absorbs UV radiations and it protects our skin, but if it is overexposed, then there are complications. And for this purpose we use sunscreen components, sunscreen lotions, etc. Most commercial sunscreens offer an additional protection from both, that is UVA and UVB radiations. So these are the two portions in ultraviolet region. These protect us from the excessive exposure of UV radiations to our skin. UVA refers to 315 to 400 nm and UVB refers to shorter wavelengths, more harmful wavelengths in between 280 to 315 nanometers. Para-aminobenzoic acid was used in sunscreens in the past, but its relatively high polarity meant that it was not very soluble in oily lotions and it tended to rinse away when swimming or while swimming. So many sunscreens today contain, among other active ingredients, a more hydrophobic derivative of para-aminobenzoic acid called as pedimate O. Actually, the purpose of considering this example is that UV radiations, their absorption by organic compounds, is studied and is applied in various applications. This is one of the commercial application, and this commercial application is the sunscreen lotion is widely used all over the world, and there are various combinations possible. The principle on which UV spectroscopy works can be explained in brief. The ultraviolet radiation region extends from 200 nanometers to 400 nanometer, and the visible region extends from 400 nanometers to 800 nanometer. So in general we study from 200 to 800 nanometers in UV spectroscopic region. The near UV region is 200 nanometers to 400 nanometers. Far UV region is below 200 nanometers. Far UV spectroscopy is studied under vacuum conditions. The common solvent used for preparing samples to be analyzed is either ethyl alcohol or hexane in this particular spectroscopy. Two different sources are used for spectroscopic analysis in UV visible spectroscopy. The ultraviolet light required is obtained from a source which is deuterium discharge lamp. So deuterium discharge lamp is the source of UV radiations in UV spectroscopy. For the visible region, tungsten filament lamp is used for the source of the radiation. So this is a general schematic. Light source is there, you have a cuvette, and you investigate the transmitted light. This is the general presentation of UV spectrophotometer. Now we are going to see the laws which govern or which explain the absorptions in UV visible spectroscopy. So these laws are related to two scientists. One is Lambert, other is Beer. So let us see first regarding Johann Heinrich Lambert. He was a Swiss polymath who made important contributions in the subjects of mathematics, physics, particularly optics, then philosophy, astronomy and map projections. Edward Teufel calls him and William Playfair the two great inventors of modern graphic designs. So this is just biographical sketch of Lambert. We are going to see his law later on. August Beer is another scientist who was a German. He was physicist and chemist and mathematician of Jewish descent. So let us see their laws. Lambert's law is first law. When a beam of monochromatic electromagnetic radiation is passed through an absorbing medium, its intensity decreases exponentially as the length L of the absorbing medium increases. I will repeat. When a beam of monochromatic electromagnetic radiation is passed through an absorbing medium, its intensity decreases exponentially as the length of the absorbing medium increases. So mathematically this can be represented. If I0 is the intensity of incident radiation, I is the intensity of transmitted radiation, L be the thickness of the solution, then we can write a relation. I is equal to I0 e raised to minus K1 L. L is the length, K1 is the constant. Okay, this is the first relation. So photometer device by Beer is like this. It was designed by him and used by him. So what is Beer's law? When a beam of monochromatic electromagnetic radiation is passed through an absorbing solution, its intensity decreases exponentially as concentration of the absorbing medium increases. So Beer's law is for liquids. Earlier law was related to length. This law is related to concentration. So again, this law can be represented as if I0 is the intensity of incident radiation, I is the intensity of transmitted radiation, C is the concentration, then we can write I is equal to I0 e raised to minus K2 C. In earlier relation, it was K1 L. K1 was proportionality constant and L was the length. So in this case, there is K2 another constant and C is the concentration. So combining these two laws, the commonly used Beer-Lambert's law is there, which is essential in UV visible spectrophotometry. So Beer-Lambert's law is mathematically stated like this, combining the relations, two relations. One relation is related to length, other is related to concentration. So I is equal to I0 e raised to minus KCl. C is the concentration, L is the length, and K is K1 K2, where K is equal to K1 K2. So we can write now I upon I0 is equal to e raised to minus KCl. The ratio of intensity of transmitted light to the incident light I0 represents the fraction of transmitted transmittance capital T and usually represented as percentage transmittance. So the ratio is converted into percentage transmittance, that is the basic property. Taking logarithm of both the sides, we get log of I upon I0 equal to Kc minus KCl, that is log of I0 upon I is equal to KCl, that is log of I0 upon I converting into general logarithm K upon 2.303 CL. The expression log of I0 upon I to the base 10 is called as absorbance A or extinction E. The constant K upon 2.303 is called as extinction or absorption coefficient. So A is equal to epsilon CL. So the extinction is presented by epsilon in this particular case. The concentration is expressed in moles per decimeter cube of path length and path length in centimeter. Then A is called as molar absorbance and epsilon is called as molar extinction coefficient, where concentration is 1, molarity is 1, then we can write A is equal to E epsilon. The epsilon is measured at maximally absorbed wavelength. It is denoted by E max. Okay, so this is a demonstration of Beer-Lambert's law. Green laser light in a solution of rhodamine 6B, the beam's radiant power becomes weaker as it passes through the solution. The Beer-Lambert's law accounts for the color of the sea and at the same time allows anesthesiologists and intensivists to monitor arterial oxygen. So this is pulse oximeter. These days we have seen its various uses in practice also. So pulse oximeter also works on the principle of Beer-Lambert's law. So with this introductory part and mathematical relationship in Beer-Lambert's law, we get a general idea about the UV spectrophotometry. Again, I will revise in brief that UV visible spectroscopy is related to Beer-Lambert's law. We have to learn what is Beer's law, what is Lambert's law, what is the combination Beer-Lambert's law, and what are the terms absorbance and transmittance. So from next lecture we will continue the other details of the topic. Till then, thank you.